Well, hi there guys, and welcome to another episode of On the Bank Angling. Today, you join me on a local commercial fishery just outside of Exeter called Southview. And as we just look in the hut here at all the photos of the fish that have been caught from the venue, I'll explain to you a little bit about the venue and the ponds, and we'll have a little look around, and I'll tell you what I'll be targeting today. We're at Southview today to target perch on the float. It's the perfect venue for the species as it's stocked with a large number of fish, that's including small fish and big fish, and all of the free ponds contain perch. So let's have a walk around the venue and see if we can find some spots. So the first pond we're looking at is Heron Pond, and it's the very first pond you see when you enter the site at Southview. As you can see from the video, there are luxury lodges at the bottom of this pond, so therefore you cannot fish that bank. The pond is a good place to start for beginners because it's absolutely rammed with fish, and it's got carp up to nearly £20 and perch to nearly £3. What more can you need? Now join me walking up to the second pond, which is Kingfisher Pond. This is the largest pond on the site and the most heavily stocked. There are absolutely tons of carp in this pond, but also tons of roach, tons of perch, and this is actually the pond that we'll be targeting for the perch. There are a lot of big perch in here, and it gets quite popular, quite busy with carp anglers because, like I said, there are a lot of carp in there. So yeah, there's the view of the pond, and it's a really nice venue. And the pond we're actually looking at now is Willow Pond, and that's the oldest pond on the site. As you can see, there are luxury lodges again at the back of the pond, so you cannot fish up around those areas, but this bottom end of the pond is really good for carp. This one historically has held a lot of the bigger carp, but not quite as many of the smaller species like roach and perch. So as we walk back down the far bank of Kingfisher here, you can see the areas that I'll be targeting. Really good perch looking swims. Lots of snags, lots of cover, and that's exactly what they want on these commercial fisheries. So these are the spots we'll be fishing for the perch today. Let's go get the gear. So here we are set up in the swim, and as you can see, the first thing I'm doing is making a ground bait for the perch. Ground bait I decided to choose was a lake ground bait, and it's red. Red is a trigger colour for perch, so I always use a red ground bait for them. The next thing I added was the Predator Plus liquid. I've had a lot of success on this liquid. I don't really think it matters how much you add, it gives a nice bloody smell in the water, brilliant for perch. The next thing I added was chop worm, which I was actually chopping better than what's on this video. The bait for the day will be maggots, worms, and obviously the ground bait which you've just seen. So let's see if we can use it to catch a fish. The ground bait we're using is quite light. I haven't put a lot of water in with it. That's because I want it to explode and make a cloud through the water column. Not only does this spread the scent of the ground bait, but it creates a nice cloud for the small fish to attack, creating a bit of a frenzy, and then the perch will come in after them. So I'm just putting this into each of my margins, which is where I'll be fishing for the perch. The float fishing setup is simple. A loaded waggler locked by 2 shots down the line to a dropper because I'm fishing over depth. decided to target the snaggy tree first. It didn't take long to have my first bite. What a fish to get first cast. £2 right on the button. A fantastic start to what should be a great day. One of the things with perch fishing, especially with worms, is the frustration of missed bites. As they take the float under, it looks so confident, and you strike and there's nothing there. It's frustrating, but eventually you do connect with one. A bit of steady feeding with maggots drew the perch back into the swim. Attraction by tipping it with a red maggot. You have to make sure when using worms to keep the hook point exposed, otherwise you're going to miss even more bites. Changes of spots within the swim and constant feeding was what was needed to keep the bites going on what was a really cold day. The next bite, however, was a lot bigger than what I'd hooked previously. What a bonus. As the light began to fade, in true perch fashion, the fish really came on the feed. A lot of small perch, but the odd better one mixed in with them, and had a really good end to the session. Just see how I got on. It's nice to get back to basics. I do hope as well that you'd like to visit Southview Farm if you're local. And if you did enjoy the video, please like and subscribe. Check out for more of our content coming in the future. Thanks for watching, and tight lines.